Hello, this is Distracted Lord, and welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. And today we are going to be looking at the unit creator and how it all works. So I'm currently playing the Steam beta version because it's not released yet, but at some point it will be released and you'll be able to get it if you have it like on Epic or other things like that, and it will probably be mostly the same. But let's start. So first off, you click this button, the custom content button, meow, and then I have a bunch of units, but then you go and click the make new unit button, and you go to this screen, and here we have a wobbler, because that's what the people in tabs are called, and we can spin the wobbler, and we can make the wobbler spin around very quickly, and his arms obviously flail up, because that makes sense. And we have a whole bunch of options that we can do for our unit. I am going to call my unit up here Distracted Lord, because he's me. And we have the options of what he actually is. So we have Wobbler, we have Stiffy, which is skeleton, we have Halfling, which is small person. Let's stick with a Wobbler. We then have the voice. So we have a whole bunch of people, and you can click the play button, and you probably can't hear it, but you can click the play button to hear what it sounds like, and then you can choose it. I'm going to choose the lasso because the lasso makes funny sounds. Then we have a pitch slider, so we can make it really low pitch, or we can make it really high pitch. It also affects the speed. I'm going to have it somewhere around here. And then you have the movement type. This is a bit weird and funky, but generally you just, if it's a melee unit, you set it's a melee unit. If it's a range unit, you set it's a range unit. You then have targeting type. We have enemy, closest friend, most expensive friend, least health friend, and you use enemy most of the time. If you want a unit that heals your other people, then you want to use the other options. Rider is currently not amazing. You have a choice between all your other units. You can just make them literally sit on top of your unit. Like, yeah. Hopefully something we'll be able to make, like, horses and things, and then we can actually make that work properly. Next up we have weapons. So, we have a choice between all kinds of weapons. There's, if we just scroll back up top, we have from the different factions. So we have Ancient, Dynasty, Farmer, Spooky, Legacy. I don't know what order they're in. It appears they're in no order. Medieval, Miscellaneous, Pirate, Renaissance. Yeah, there is just no order to this. Then we have a bunch of stuff from Tab G, which is very exciting, and I am very happy about, and I was very much hoping they would add, and they did, so I am happy. Tribal, Viking, and Wild West. So I'm just going to get myself a nice bow, which I'll use a medieval bow because it is huge. Then, if we want to, we can give them something else in the second hand, like we have a huge shield. Also, just look at how he's holding it. This is fantastic. Yes, I'm going to do that. We also have a button to change to two-handed, which for a bow, I have to say, makes a bit more sense because I've used a bow. You can't fire a bow one-handed. You have to hold it with one hand and pull back on the string with the other. So I'm going to make it two-handed because this makes sense. And if we go into the medieval bow, we have the colours, which I think is really cool. We can change the colours of stuff. So if you look at the bow, you see the bit is flashing. That's the wooden bit. If we then click on this, we then have a bunch of options. There's metal, which you have a choice between a bunch of gold colours and a bunch of other colours. Then we have wood, which is a bunch of wood colours. And there's team colours, which is interesting. So you can have a bunch of different red shades. If you go over here and you change the unit to blue, then it should go blue. There we go. And you can choose between the blue colours, like having them red. For some reason, when you click the cross there, it takes you to the metal menu. I don't understand this. And then we have a whole bunch of other colours, like we have a bunch of greys and a bunch of blues, and that's totally blue. But there's plenty of colours to choose from, and you press the cross button to go back. So I'm going to go into wood, and I'm going to make this a slightly darker colour of wood. And then we have, what's this bit? So we can't change the colour of the arrow, because that's a separate thing. What even is this bit? If you can't tell what it is, you can just go, like, if I make it black, what does that do? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what that is. We're just gonna make this bit grey. And then we have the stats button. So obviously the remove button is remove. So the stats, you can change the projectile. This is very cool. So we have a whole bunch of different things we can make it fire. Some of these make sense, some of these very much don't, like the bullets down here from the Tab G weapons. So if we want to, we can make it fire rockets. Then we have special abilities. Special abilities are very cool. Let's just go back up to stop. We have a bunch of movement based ones, like most of the, actually no, I think they're all from things in the game, mostly. I'm not entirely sure, but there's a bunch of like things, like we can make my unit hover, but that's actually fantastic, I'm going to leave it. Then we have like sort of some blocking things, like we have the Dark Peasant hands, and we're going to give them lightning projectile block. You'll see what that does in a bit. And we have more sort of attacking ones, some unsorted ones, because for some reason they're not called misc in this category. Then we have dodge. I'm going to give him some projectile dodge, and I'm going to make him have an explosive death because I want to kill all those who attack me. Next up, we have clothes. And there's a whole bunch of things categories you can choose from. And then in this we have many things. We have obviously the same categories in the same order as they are before, which I don't understand. And medieval, misc, there's a whole bunch of things. Pirate, Renaissance. Then there's a whole load of stuff from Tab G, which is kind of cool. There's an awful lot of clothing you can put, and some World War stuff, which isn't actually a faction, but it's there anyway. So there's like a panda. Let's just rotate you so we can look at you. There's also a grumpy cat. I'm not going to give myself a grumpy cat head. And for some reason there is a fidget spinner. There's a fidget spinner hat. Anyway, so I'm going to go and find myself some hair. So I'm just giving myself some Renaissance hair, and we can obviously change the colour of this. There you go, that seems a nice colour. And then we can go and add more stuff. If we want to, we can in fact add multiple things to my head, so I can then also give myself a amazing looking crown, or we have skull helmet. If we just pop up here, there's a bunch of, there's 1 skull, 2 skull, 3 skull, 4 skull, and 5 skull. And they all blink. But I like this crown. I'm gonna have a nice crown. And of course I can change the colour of this. So let's make it a slightly darker metal. And this bit, I want my team colours to be a little brighter. And then we hop back down here. We can give me some more clothing. I have added some more clothes, and I have my nice cloak on, and just black stuff with my nice gold laces. And these shoes here are actually very fancy shoes because they're actually made of 2 shoes stuck together, because you can put multiple things. So I actually have 2 different types of shoes at the same time. And then we have stats, and stats is kind of cool. I can give myself a bit more health, and I can make myself bigger, make myself insanely huge if you like, and then you become massive. Or you can make yourself absolutely tiny, and then the bow doesn't scale, and then you have a huge bow. Or if you make yourself big, the bow also doesn't scale, and it appears that you're holding a very tiny bow. I know this game is so dumb sometimes. If we just make me back to normal size, it's slightly bigger. So hit points is fairly obvious, that's just the amount of health it has. Size, fairly obvious, that's the size. Then the unit weight controls how heavy it is-ish, and mostly how strong it is. So if you're carrying a big weapon, you want more weight. I'm just going to put it up to 2. Movement speed, I'm going to make my character run around. And attack speed, put that up a bit as well. And give myself some more damage because I want to kill everything. Then we have the save thing, so we're going to take a little photo. I'm just going to zoom it out. Take photo. then the cost. So we can, if we really want to, go in manual and set the cost to 0. Oh no, we can't. It goes, you are not allowed to set the cost to 0. We can't even set the cost to 20. The minimum we can set it to is 21. Don't know why, but I'm going to see what the game reckons. It should cost 520. That's not too bad. I can't be bothered to give it a description, but we can then save the unit. Just before we do that though, there is this test unit button down here. So if we press this test unit button, we see I have my character. My character just went and fired a missile at someone. You see that's the lightning deflection thing, and I have completely annihilated them. But if we just look here, he's going to throw that. That's lightning deflect and a bit of dodging as well. And then we're going to fire a nice big missile at them. Oh, are they already dead? Okay, I just want to fire more missiles. We missed. Don't worry, we deflected Cupid's things. Yes. Aha, see. And we just completely obliterated Cupid. Oh well. Apparently it takes inputs while you're doing that for some reason. And adds it to your description. Lovely. But I can also see what I look like in blue. Very similar. Other than the bit on my crown changes colour. Actually, I'm going to change this. And then we go and we click the Save Unit button. Now then, this puts my unit in my group of units, but if this is your first unit, you can't actually put this into a battle yet. You have to go over to factions, and I have a custom units faction that I'm going to put it in. If you don't, then you have to press the Make New Faction button. You can then go and add it. I'm going to put it in my all my units. I have a custom units faction that all my custom units are being put in. But we then go back to the menu and we go find a nice place to have a fight. So I like Ancient 1. Let's go to Ancient 1. We load in and no custom units. There's me at the end here. I'm going to put me over here and I'm going to find myself someone to fight. Let's use default Mr. Testing Dummy, the King. So we put him over there, and then we can see how well I do. He's not dead. He's not even on half health. I shot him again. Hopefully, next shot should kill him. No? Uh-oh, he might swing at me. He missed. There we go. What? How did he win? Is he still alive? No, he's dead as well. We're both dead. How did he win? I think I blew myself up. Yeah, you see, that's the downside of firing rockets. Rockets do have a slight tendency to blow you up in the process. But I hover, because... No, I've missed. I've lost this. Let's just take control. We don't have any special things that we can control. And I'm just going to do the thing that the AI has never understood and probably will never understand, which is running away. Now we don't actually have a dodge for melee things. That's just cheating. Anyway, let's get rid of you. And not that one, legacy. We just try me against peasants about equaling my value. To see how well the game's pricing system works, which I would say is rather well. And that's most of them dead. Peasants are weak. Now they're all dead. I win. Aha. So that's testing for you. You'll probably have to do a lot of that. But if we just go back and we edit my unit, there are a few things that I think this is perhaps missing or could be changed. So, obviously, I want more. I want, like, horses and raptors and that stuff. So that I can make riders work. Weapons? I think this is quite good. Clothes? This is also nice. Stats? I want more stats. I want an accuracy stat, because I missed, and with some things like P90s and stuff, you tend to miss quite a lot, and I'd like to make my unit have some skill, and not miss all the time. And range, because the AI isn't very good at shooting at long distance. They tend not to understand that you can actually shoot from far away, and the AI like to shoot from very close, even though they could hit from further away. And so I would like to have a stat here that I can change. That means that my unit will attack from further away and just generally be smarter. Also, there is some slight bugs with the test unit thing. Like, if I do go and whack the size of my unit up to a many, like say 100, which is the maximum it'll let me do, and then press the unit button, you see the game goes, okay, I've frozen, we are just loading, because for some reason the game decides that we must, to make it a fair fight, we must be against this lot, because the game's like, we must make it a fair fight, and so we must have absolute hordes. Yeah, as you can see, that's a bit buggy, but let's just go back to 1.1. There you go, and I've reappeared. And I'm just going to... It for some reason likes to forget that you actually put in a value and likes to reset it to 3000. Then we just save you again. And ta-da! We have created me as a unit. And I shoot people. Let's just head over to a different map. We can go and have a look. So, here's me. Let's just actually make this a nice little battle that we can watch while I'm doing my outro. Thank you for watching, don't get distracted, go subscribe now, and until next time, come on, blow more people up, well done, you're very good at this. Goodbye. I'm just gonna watch me blow myself up. I missed, I actually missed. I love how they're not actually able to hit me because I'm hovering above them. There you go, I blew myself up.